He called him Debt Dash and said he should work for Debt Jam. I feel like Dame cares too much about what people have to say. And that's not the Dame that I knew.
Hot tea.
All right, y'all know we had to see what the Podfather had to say about this new Dame Dash interview with the Breakfast Club. Let's see what the Rockefeller podcast had to say about this. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
Did anybody see Dame on the Breakfast Club? It's a classic.
Instant classic.
Dame was up there on full bullshit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the walking.
And the history here is from his first Breakfast Club interview that was a classic.
It was.
Where he told them, y'all have bosses, y'all are workers.
Y'all not real men.
Y'all can't tell me shit. Y'all don't own nothing. Y'all clock in, yada, yada, yada. So Envy has been having a little fun with Dame and all of the reports of debt and bankruptcy. And it's still been respectful. I don't want to lie on Envy. It's been respectful fun. So a lot of eyes were on this interview, and it did not disappoint. This might be the first time where I plugged up to the Bluetooth to hear an interview while I was in the shower. He went up there and just dissed him the whole time.
Yeah, he wanted to get his look back.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I thought Charlemagne was old school Charlemagne.
Yes.
Yeah, he was fighting back. Mm-hmm. He was fighting back.
I thought he did more than that.
I love what Charlemagne. You're lying. He was just like,
I thought he called that nigga Debt Dash. He called him Debt Dash and said he should work for Debt Jam. That's funny.
That's really funny.
This interview,
I think they handled it way more appropriately. Like, because Dame came up there to basically insult him.
Yeah, but they professionals. You can't.
And they were laughing at him, and I think it had a counter effect of what he thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think his sole purpose up there was to go up there and belittle them because he looks at them like they're not street niggas. And so he brings that element to it, like, yo, I would punch you in your face and all that other stuff.
I have that clip.
And I just think that's...
Yeah, he told me never sold drugs. Yeah.
That's what all them niggas do, though.
I think part of why it works is because Charlemagne doesn't actually get rattled by it.
Yeah.
You know
that's
what I mean?
the professionalism. Like, and I know what you're doing.
Right.
Your goal is to try to get under my skin. So even if you get under my skin, I'm not going to let you do it.
Right.
And now we look... And this is the bad part. Like, I hate seeing Dame even in this fashion. Because now they looking at Dame like, yo, dog, you a joke. Like, I think the world is looking at this like, yo, you getting up there and you belittling yourself and you taking yourself from the Dame that we once knew to down here. And
I don't necessarily
You got such a mature view of things, man. It's just the internet, bro.
I feel like you went up there to talk shit.
Niggas trying to get their name in the algorithm. It brings more light to what you got going on. It could be a rollout. That could have been planned. They knew what they was getting into. It's like when I was doing shit, when people knew when I was coming. I didn't necessarily arrange it, but they knew this is what's coming with it when we're together. That's what I'm saying. You got such a hold on, Mark. You got such a mature view. You about to talk. You got such a mature view on shit, and I get what you're saying from a mature standpoint. Like, yo, nigga was up here, but sometimes niggas conform or whatever the fucking word is to what's going on the internet now, nigga.
And to watch a nigga that was once the mogul, one of the biggest moguls in urban music.
Yes.
Now, no disrespect, resort to skitty shit to get algorithms moving. It's crazy.
I do think it looks different if the world perceives you as being up here and you like, fuck y'all dumb niggas, right? It's read as one thing. I think it does look different if the public now believes that you're broke. I'm not saying Dame is broke. I don't know his money.
Talk about it, yeah.
But if the public sees you as now at the bottom, those same things you did before get looked at different. I'm not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong, but it definitely looks different today than it did 20 years ago. Niggas was clowning, or whenever the interview was, people were clowning. They were laughing at Envy, like, yo, Dame was killing Envy, right? Now, I don't think people are walking away with that same.
But that ain't got nothing to do with this interview. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this interview changed nobody's mind on Dame. If you've been watching him on the internet for the last however long, you thought this about him. This just, all right, this is Dame being what we've been seeing him be.
And if you haven't been watching him on the internet and heard this interview, you come away with similar notion.
Yeah. I think he went up there to be funny, and he went up there and was funny.
That's what I think.
Like, I don't think it's...
I just think it backfired.
I think a lot of niggas that do it, I think it's just where you at in life, in society, right? If Fifth do it, niggas laugh. Well, I say he crazy, but you can't call him broke or say anything about him because of what he has. Now that Dame and his business is all on the internet and niggas is making fun of him, because a lot of times when you were once here and you looked at as a fall of grace, people take that time to get back in and poke
Come on, it ain't
holes. But he always been like that, like Park said. That's him.
And I was looking at this. It came out last year, but I was reading his on his YouTube channel, American New. The headline is Dame Dash exposes Jay-Z's biggest secrets. Right? There's no way 20 years ago, you could have put a gun to my head. I would not have believed that he would ever have a video on his network entitled that. And I'm not saying he did the titling, but it's his network, so I think it's fair.
I get
like, I'm just saying there's a different perception of him now than then. And I hate it because I have so much respect and admiration for what he's built. Exactly. I hate that this is what it looks like. But that interview was still entertaining either way. I mean, you say
he's still entertaining.
Yeah, he just called Charlamagne gay the whole time. How'd you feel?
It is entertaining.
Oh.
Man, it was some of the greatest shit ever. No, that was an amazing interview. I cannot lie.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't like seeing Dame like that.
Yeah.
I don't like I don't think he does himself any favors.
Now, if
I think that all of them in the park.
Go ahead.
I feel like Dame cares too much about what people have to say, and that's not the Dame that I knew. Dame seemed like a lot of this interview was him trying to prove to people or the room that he wasn't broke.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, came in dressed to the nines and all that.
Yeah, but he started asking them, hey, if somebody borrows $100 million from the bank versus somebody who only has $5 million, who has more money, like he was just asking them a whole bunch of financial institution questions. He was calling them stupid for not knowing the answer. Like, what does it matter if people think you're broke?
Does
Who
it matter
cares?
if people think you're broke? What if he's not broke?
Then why would it matter if people think you're broke?
Because I'm not used to y'all talking to me and treating me a certain way.
I saw him reply to my reply to him. And some of that included that he taught me everything I know about podcasting.
Is that not true?
That's not true, Mark.
Just check it. I didn't know.
But hearing Dame even say that, it's like, oh shit, we just saying whatever. Like now we just saying anything. And that's not, if we know Dame from back then, no, it's your word and your balls. It's we speaking truth, we speaking facts, we uplifting. That's he doesn't believe that. That's the point.
I think it's the entrepreneurship, the own your own, the rejecting the corporate approach, turning them contracts down. That's all lessons he got.
I hate you guys.
During his time in the Rockefeller roster.
Yeah. Say no
He really
to the
took
deal.
you under his wing.
Be an asshole in the boardroom.
Yeah.
The fact that he said that, man, listen, this is what I tell you. I gained on, I understand. After the Breakfast Club interview, after hearing him say that about me and just watching how he's carrying on, I get it. I understand. I totally get it.
He's the chairman of Revolt now. We should round of applause.
Oh yes. That was one of the important takeaways from the interview. He said that he's chairman of Revolt. That he is
for a month, right?
Well, no, he said I'm chairman of Revolt now, and he's in the process of trying to acquire the company. After the interview, Lauren LaRosa, sort of hours later, posted a sort of correction, a fact check.
A little fact check, yeah.
Saying,
community notes.
I spoke to the publicity department or publicists at Revolt, and they say that he's not the chairman, right? He then responded on his Instagram and said, I'm chairman for a month. I'm going to continue to do movies, which is what he said in the interview. Take the L, don't try and, get me with a technicality. So effectively, he's saying he's chairman for a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what's true or not. I don't think Dame would lie about that. I think it's some miscommunication here.
Now that makes sense. The heads over at Revolt would get out of the Puff business and jump into the Dame Dash business. That'll clean it up.
And to keep the stability, they're going to do it for a full
That'll
month.
really get this looking like it's supposed to look. I don't know, man. I'm out of my business. But I understand it now. I'll tell you that much.
That's it.
Dame. See, that's the other part too, though. And I'll close this up because I don't want to stay here. That's what's corny about the internet at 40 plus. See, and the 20-year-old niggas is having a blast with the internet. It's the best thing in the world. I remember those days. At 40 plus, when I see people I know on the internet wigging out, I think they having a health issue. That's the first place my brain go. It don't go to, yo, he doing it for clicks.
Yeah, he playing the
His
game.
algorithm.
I think mental
like
health
we be
crisis.
shooting people a lot of bail. Some of these niggas are short-circuiting.
In your face.
In our fucking face. Everybody ain't Chadwick and about to handle it with grace. Some of these niggas are fucked up. I don't know nobody health business. But if you 40 plus and you on the internet looking a certain type of way, I pray for you harder than I was. And then I can't even come on air and have fun with the shit. And it be funny shit.
Yeah, it's funny shit.
It's funny shit. I can't have fun because of stupid shit like compassion and tact. Sensitivity. You niggas is funny. I want to come in and laugh at all you niggas. I'll be damned if you're going to come on my show to talk about when I ran. Like, even that's a little. The Charlamagne is just a good dude.
But he don't give a fuck. That's the thing I appreciate about Charlamagne. What I love about him is he don't give a fuck about. He called him.
And he kind of stood in it. He like, and I beat you up. He's like, yo, if you punch me in the face outside, I'll beat you up.
Even that's the other thing at 50 years old. I don't want to hear who you gonna beat up and who you not gonna beat up at
crazy.
50, yo. Once you get to talking about that at this age, it should be in self-defense. Yeah, it shouldn't be who you about to set it on. And if so, then it contradicts all of the big money talk that I don't know, man. Listen, let me tell you something. All I'm saying is, I know, Park, we got prospect, but I understand. I understand.
I don't even know where to start with that. Joe said a lot. Now, I just want to address the elephant in the room for me. It seems like Joe is trying to allude that Dame has an illness that he's fighting, or maybe a mental situation that he's going through, and that might be causing him to spiral out. And so to Joe, what he sees from Dame looks serious. Now, I'm not willing to say it's that bad, but I do think it's obvious that in Dame's mind, see, not in everybody else's head, but in Dame's mind, he feels like he fell off. And that's why he's trying to overcompensate by telling us all of his business. And you see the same thing with the Revolt announcement, right? You know what's crazy? In the interview, Charlamagne told him, "Don't be telling everybody your plans." Dame's response, it's already done, bro. You stupid. But now, you done said you the chairman, and you got people questioning whether or not that's true. Revolt hasn't come out and said we stand by Dame Dash. And so you couldn't keep your mouth closed long enough for, everything to be official and for you to not look like a clown. You was just worried about saying you was the chairman of Revolt so you can go back and forth with Cameron. And I think Revolt is like, hold on, what's going on? This guy is embarrassing us. And to me, that's serious. And look, if this is promoting whatever Dame got going on, I know it's good for the Breakfast Club. The interview already has 1.1 million views when I saw it about 10 minutes ago. This is a great moment for Dame. He's doing really well on the Art of Dialogue, doing these interviews on his channel as well. But it's still a fall from grace because I think Mark Lamont had a point when he said years ago, you would never think that Dame would be saying this crazy stuff about Jay on a YouTube channel. Like, you wouldn't see Steve Stout doing something like that. And Dame is always bragging, I smacked Steve Stout. But Steve Stout is not running up everywhere trying to prove that he's not broke and that, he's a boss and trying to fight or combat all of these negative rumors about him. Dame is at the point where he got to square up. He got to fight the child support rumors, the broke rumors, whatever lawsuit he got coming. He got to fight for, his part in Rockefeller. At this point, years ago, he wasn't wearing no Rockefeller chains. Now every time you see him, he got on a Rockefeller chain. Why? That speaks to what I'm telling y'all. This is somebody who's trying to overcompensate. Now you want to wear the Rockefeller chains. But I think for him, I'm the boss. I don't need a chain. I am Rockefeller. But now you wearing chains like you an artist. Dame is wearing Rockefeller chains like he's an artist. That's a fall from grace when it comes to Dame Dash. That doesn't mean that Joe doesn't respect him. It doesn't mean that I don't respect him. I love what they built at Rockefeller. But this Dame, he's making some decisions that he wouldn't have made years ago. And it's not, to me, a healthy change. It's not growing up. In some ways, he looks like he's going backwards, or at least still stuck in that place where he's yelling and screaming in those Rockefeller boardrooms. And it was cool and entertaining to see on YouTube, but in real life, it was idiotic. It was something that somebody in his position shouldn't have done. And it's a beautiful thing to take care of your children and make sure that they don't have any debt and all of this other stuff. But it's also a beautiful thing to mature and not be arguing on the internet like a child. But I think he's in a position where he might need to do that. Once again, that doesn't mean he's broke, but he might, whether it's advertising himself or need to check whatever, I think he's trying to keep his face in the light for a reason. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.